How did that feel?
So good.
First split. Erin mentioned last night we have a new axe. It's a Hultafors 3.5 pound head splitting axe. We've probably never been more conflicted or not on the same page about a piece of gear in our lives before. But she likes this one a lot, and because she loves splitting wood, and I like it, but she loves it, so I conceded on this one. She's happy, and it seemed to work pretty well last night. It's pretty big and heavy, and one of the problems we have out here in the boreal forest, especially in winter, in deep snow, is finding a good chopping block. And for a heavy, full-size axe like this, reasonably heavy axe,
Yeah.
Control is a bit more difficult, so you know, if you don't have a big chopping block to fall back on, it makes it a lot harder. But it's a nice tool. It looks well designed. The steel is supposed to be very good quality, so you can hold and maintain an edge better than some of the cheaper ones. I was pretty interested in this Fiskars one from Can Tire. I just thought it would do the job, and it was less than half the price. But the one thing that would have been worse on the Fiskars is the steel isn't as high quality, so I know maintaining an edge wouldn't have lasted as long as this one should. And then in the winter, the Fiskars one was a fiberglass handle, so it was pretty lightweight, but you know, you can get more recoil in your hands on a fiberglass one, and it might be less or a bit more breakable in extreme cold if it's -20, -30. Anything to add?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear if anyone has opinions, if you've used the Fiskars one. It has great reviews, but I just couldn't do it.
She wanted the real deal, the old-fashioned way.
To me, it's an art. The blacksmithing and having a real wooden handle, the whole thing is part of it. So going to fiberglass one was just a tough pill to swallow for me, so we didn't.
I told her I showed her on CT's website the Fiskars one, and it looked like I had just ripped out her heart. She just looked so sad, like that.
Oh, it's just, yeah, it's an art form.
Yeah. I hope the main reason we got it is for winter, for the chopping wood and the wood stove.
So this one's very, it's a splitting axe. It has that one purpose. It's not kind of multi-purpose, but we went with, it's a Swedish design, and it's a Swedish company, and they've got, so I guess this is a big, there's this one, and it has the same function as like a splitting maul, which I have read, that's the splitting maul is kind of the more American style of a splitting axe, and then this is the, and see, it's quite thin, but it has this diamond shape here. So when it gets in, the bevel splits really nicely. So it just has the one purpose for splitting, but that's pretty much all we use it for out here. We've got a hatchet and we have saws for kind of smaller stuff and delimbing and things like that. So we thought we'd just go all in on the splitter. And
yeah, if we're using an axe, it's to split. If we're gonna fell a tree, we use a saw.
Yeah, and same with like delimbing and other stuff. We can just use the hatchet or the saw. So, yeah, it's not as versatile, but it does one thing and does one thing really well. So, I'm pretty excited about it. Thanks for bending for me, hun.
You deserve it.
Yeah, you'll be seeing lots of this. And then I tied this paracord around it just to protect from overstrike. I know that's silly. Not something that I'm gonna do, but you know.
I might.
Just better to be safe than sorry. That's where our old one went, was right here from overstrikes. So that's where the wooden handles are vulnerable. And the Grand Fourths actually have a little shield here, an overstrike guard. But for like double the price, I figured I could just wrap paracord across it instead. So yes, I'm very excited.
If anyone has any good ideas for splitting blocks in winter and deep snow, let us know. Paul Kirtley does a tutorial on YouTube where he puts it between his legs, the log, wedges it into the sand, and like swings through his legs. and the piece of wood has to be behind your feet so you don't risk deflecting off the log onto your feet. And that seems like that might work, but I'm still kind of wary about bringing the axe down that far. I'd really prefer that my axe stroke ends down here into a chopping block, right? And then you can lay a piece of wood horizontally and kind of twist as you hit it at the end, if you just lay it out flat like that. But I don't know, it always seems hard in deep snow.
Yeah, we'll definitely be working on that. That was, I think, yeah, I'd be interested to hear if anyone has suggestions, but largely sometimes just digging down and getting to a good base was what worked best for us, because it's quite tricky to split in the snow sometimes.